Alright guys, I thought today we could go ahead and enjoy some clown shows going on. Because you know what, the circus is in town because, of course, the biggest Bengals hater in America, who makes no sense because he's a Jets fan, is claiming the Cincinnati Bengals season is over. It's over, guys! It's over! Because it's not like we're about to go on our 4-game stretch that's probably the easiest stretch for the next 4 games of any team. Rams, Titans, Cardinals, Seahawks. No. It's not like that. It's not like the fact that right now Joe is saying his calf feels a lot better and, you know, Jake Browning could lead us to a victory over the Rams, Titans, Cardinals, and Seahawks. But, again, like I said, I still think Joe is not as hurt as everyone is trying to make it out to be. But no. All that aside, it's over. It's over. Because, let's listen. I gotta put this over the screen, by the way, because I don't know who runs his show, but his show is an absolute freaking L. They copyright every little detail. If I show 1 centimeter of his show, they will take down my video. They are crazy with it, too.
They're going to be 0-4. Maybe they beat the Cardinals. Maybe not. This season, I'm sorry to say it, I get no joy out of it. But the Cincinnati Bengals season's over.
Okay, so 0-4 was obviously, you know, Circus Boy here is the one who said that. He's the one who said 0-5. Which is funny, because I believe, if I am correct, isn't this Willie McGinnis? Like the Patriots legend, right as a linebacker. I thought that was who that was. I know he's a former player. I thought he was Willie McGinnis. But let's just listen to the rest of this clown show. Why not?
It's over. Jake Browning is not leading the Bengals to the Super Bowl. It's a wrap.
But this is why Jamar Chase in the offseason said, hey, hold off until you're right.
Yeah. Right.
And then when you come back, we know we can make a run. They can't make a run without him.
Dude.
He's obviously hurt. And if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, this is your fault. This is solely your fault. Because to Craig's point is, yeah, you got to you respect the will. You respect the want to get out there. But it's bigger than him. This team is now going to collapse all because of Joe Burrow's calf.
I had to pause it real fast because sometimes the circus show just gets a little too crazy. You gotta walk outside and take a walk, right? So, the season's gonna collapse because of Joe Burrow's calf strain. Really? Because he's out for the rest of the season, you're saying. Right? No, wait, he's not? He's not out for the rest of the season? But yet you're making bold claims like this? He's not out for the rest of the season. It's a long, long season. If you want to make the argument that, well, I believe that the Bengals aren't going to win the AFC North because of Joe Burrow's calf strain, and that's going to cause them to, have to go with Jake Browning for the next couple weeks, against the Rams and the Titans and the Cardinals and the Seahawks to the bye week. They're not going to be able to go with Joe Burrow, and in my expert opinion, I don't think they're going to play him. Which I highly doubt. But anyway, if you want to make that argument and you're like, well, I think that by that time the Ravens will already beat the Bengals head-to-head, are going to take enough of a lead, and they're going to be able to win this division in the end. If you want to make that argument, I'm not going to call you a clown for making that argument. I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to call you a clown for that. That's a logical argument. But to say our season's over, and we're done, and it's GG, just because of the fact that Joe's not 100%, which again, everything is hindsight 2020 here. Joe probably should have waited. Joe probably should not have played right away. Jamar Chase did say that. Jamar Chase did also say that, sometimes he tells the media stuff just because they want to hear something, right? And he likes to kind of say stuff to them just to see their response. So again, like I said, hindsight is 2020. If he never aggravates his hamstring in that last play versus the Ravens, then we don't even talk about this. We really don't. If he never re-aggravates his hamstring, we never even talk about this. I do believe that a reason why we struggled in week 1 and struggled in week 2, for the most part in the first half, yeah, you could make the argument that was his, issue with his calf, and that was definitely a problem. But look at the second half last week versus the Ravens. We looked fine. And to say we have, actually I don't think they say it, yes, but they're going to say in this video that we have 0 to non-existent run game. Every time we have ran the ball, we have been looking pretty dang good. I agree we should run the ball more. I agree with that. I think that we can't say we have a non-existent run game. We run the ball and are averaging good yards. Our line has looked good when we run the ball. So, again, it's just another stupid dig at the Bengals for no reason. This fact this show is still on air is like circuses, I swear. Let's say worst case scenario, right? We lose to, not the Rams, but let's say we lose one of our next 4 games before our bye week, right? So we lose one of our 4 games going to our bye week, and then going to our bye week, then we're 3-3. Okay, 3-3, but Joe Burrow is fully healthy because we rested him in this maybe not the Rams game. Let's say we rested him in all the games, because that's what they're claiming here. We're going to rest him in all the games. So let's say we rest him in all the games, and we go, in this little span here, we go 3-1, okay? 3-1, so we go into our bye week, 3-3. Season's over. We have 0 chance. We can't do anything. Okay, so let's look at the rest of our games, right? 49ers. Now, coming off a bye week, and Joe is now healthy. No more calf strain, right? He's good to go. Okay. 49ers game. I think we can win that game, right? 4-3. Bills game. We dominate the Bills. 5-3. Okay. Texans. Oh, we'll beat them. 6-3. Short week Ravens. 6-4. Because, again, like I said, Ravens, they're going to be a tougher opponent. Steelers. I think we beat them. 7-5. Oh, sorry, 7-4. Right? Okay. Jags. I think we can get a job done against the Jags. 8-4. Colts. 9-4. I think we beat them. Okay. Vikings. Oh, we beat them 10-4. Steelers again. I think we split with them. Maybe 10-5. Okay. Not a big deal. 10-5 now. Now we play the Chiefs. We own them. 11-5. And now we play the Browns, and I think we can win that game 12-5. Season was supposed to be over. What happened? But we didn't play Burrow in those 4 games, and we lost. Season's over. Shut up. Even if, okay, give me the argument, right? Well, your guys are going to lose all the games. Okay, we lose all the games. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 losses, okay. So that's another 3 losses. So that's 9-8. I think we can still make the playoffs 9-8. And that's if we lose every game. We're not going to lose every game. But in the worst case scenario, we lose all of those games. 9-8. We win all those games. We go 4-0 in that stretch. Then we can lose games like to the Chiefs or lose games to the 49ers. And it's actually okay. Listen, I can understand the argument if you tell me we're not going to win the division. I would sit here and say, yeah, you know what? We started off slow. We got to rest our guy. I get it. We're not going to win the division. But to say we can't even get 5th, 6th, 7th seed in the playoffs is actually just ridiculous. Like, this team has fought through so much adversity in their history that you're saying this is just a circus act. But let's go ahead and listen to the rest of this clown show. Because you know what? I've been working up an appetite for clowns.
Bottom line.
And this is why you have backups. Like, I don't care what you guys are playing with Zach Wilson.
And look how that's going.
Exactly.
Right.
And from what I know, as far as football goes, when you assess a guy, it's like you try to make sure that he can at least run your offense and he can be competent. Jake Browning right now, I can guarantee you, looks better throwing the football than Joe Burrow. Right. He can't drive the ball down the field.
I agree.
So why Would you not? Why would you put that on the field and possibly?
Hold up, timeout. How is that even a, what? Jake Browning looks better than throwing the ball than Joe Burrow. How? Did you not see Jake Browning in the preseason? Jake Browning in the preseason was overthrowing passes and throwing ducks in a lot of his passes. I mean, he threw a lot of great passes, don't get me wrong. I love Jake Browning. But he threw a lot of ducks in the preseason, too. And he didn't really take many shots down the field. He took a couple. One was actually to Yoshi, where it was an incomplete pass. But I don't really agree that Jake Browning has looked really much better throwing the football than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow last week in the second half of the game, and the sad part is, they're making this after the Ravens game. It's after the Ravens. If you made this before the Ravens game, I'd be like, okay, then that makes sense, yeah. Week 1, he didn't look like he was throwing the ball down the field good. Last week, he looked like he could throw the ball down the field very well. I mean, look at that Irv Smith throw. Even though, yes, it was incomplete because Irv didn't get his feet in bounds, he threw an amazing pass on that play. What are you talking about? He easily can throw the ball down the field with, his calf strain. And again, he did not aggravate it until the last play of that game. So, he was fine. In the first 2 games, his calf strain, according to him, was not the problem. What are you talking about? Our first game, there's a lot more things you could talk about than the calf strain. Obviously, the play calling was very vanilla. Our offensive line played horrible in the first game. We didn't run the ball. Like, there's so many things you could talk about. You're just pulling things out of your ass at this point. You really are. The calf strain is definitely a problem. But now you're trying to use that as a catalyst to try to make up things. Yes, the calf strain's a problem. His mobility is the problem. He can't move around the pocket with a calf strain. But he didn't aggravate it again until the last game of the Ravens game. So at this point, you're just pulling things out of your butt to pull things out of your butt here. 0-13 completions, 1 interception. Joe on passes 15 yards down the field this season. Yeah. You know why? Hey guys, let's play Dora the Explorer. Okay. What was the problem with week 1? Yes? Fantasy truck stop. Was it the fact that every third down we threw the ball 60 yards down the field and, we threw it into double coverage and it was incomplete? You get a gold star. Tell me why we were 0-13 this season. 1 pass is 15 yards plus. Because we ran a very vanilla offense week 1 where we just threw passes down the field non-stop and refused to do anything else on every single third and frickin' short. That's why. Yes, week 1 was pitiful. If you made this video after week 1, I would not have judged you. But you can't. Did you not watch last week? Really? Really? You didn't even think about watching last week? Let's listen to this clown show. Let's listen to the circus act.
Risk your entire season. And I don't care what you say, the season is not over for the Cincinnati Bengals because they've been in this situation. They were 2-3 or 3-4 last year, and they were struggling early in the season, and they found a way to get on the hot streak.
Joe Burrow was their quarterback.
Nate Burleson. That's his name. Nate Burleson. Burleson. He makes logical points.
My point. Yeah. You let him rest these 3 weeks. You find a way to get a couple wins, and then he comes back.
It's easy to say find a way to get a couple wins. You played the sport. You can't just get the magic 8 ball and say, "Oh, please, magic 8 ball, give me a win." It don't work like that.
We understand it doesn't work like that.
I love the fact that it actually just showed off cows right there. I love that. And let me make sure this is the rest of it, just for craps and giggles.
I'm sorry to say it.
Okay, hang on. I'm making sure this is the rest of it before I finish my final talks here. Final points. Hang on, where's my mouse?
Nah,
As his backup.
I think it's over. I think when you see the frustration out of Jamar.
Okay, no, wait. I want to play this part before I get my final points because they do talk about Jamar Chase here, and I do want to talk about this.
Hey, oh, please, Magic 8 Ball, give me a win. It don't work like that.
We understand it doesn't work like that, but this is why you configure rosters with multiple guys at a position.
Not a quarterback.
Because if a guy goes down, you have to be able to rely on who we have left. And who you have left behind Joe Burrow right now
Jake
is
Brown.
a guy that's been on your practice
whole
squad
thing's gonna
that
blow
you
up.
put in this as his backup.
I think it's over. I think when you see the frustration out of Jamar Chase, he knows it's over, too.
Yeah.
And I think you talk about T. Higgins barely showing up within the offense. It's not going to happen, man.
Willie,
it's happening.
We both played. When in the world have we ever in a locker room said, it's over, week 2, week 3?
No, I don't expect the players to say it, but
So
as
what are you
analysts,
saying?
I'm saying it without Joe Burrow and an angry Jamar Chase and a running game that doesn't exist right now for the Cincinnati Bengals and a defense that's subpar at this point, they don't look like that.
Magic 8 Ball and say, oh, please, Magic 8 Ball. Yeah.
You let him
When
Get-
Joe-
get-
Where do I start? And T. Higgins not showing up in this offense. 86 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. He's not showing up. Where's T. Higgins? Guys, where's T. Higgins? 86 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. Hasn't even shown up. Oh my gosh. And by the way, Jamar Chase is not mad. Jamar Chase just pointed out the fact that we should have arrested him and we didn't do what he suggested and it came back to bite us in the butts, okay? He's not mad. He's not angry. He doesn't think the season's over after starting off 0-2 because guess what? Last season we started off 0-2. He would have thought the same thing last season, right? The season's over. It's all over. It's all over. It's a clown show, man. It's an absolute freaking clown show. And again, if they made this video after week 1, I would have got it. I would have understood it. I've been like, I agree with you, And then he said our defense is subpar. How is our defense subpar? Our defense in week 1 literally held the Cleveland Browns the whole entire first half to 3 points, other than a run by Deshaun Watson at the very end that got him a touchdown. Our defense played very much lights out in the first half of that first game. And even played pretty good in the second game with how bad our offense did. We gave up 24 points. Our defense was on the field like 99% of the time. And even last week, obviously, our defense didn't get them off the field. They had a nice interception in that game, but we were also playing Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's a really great quarterback. He's very mobile. It's hard to get him down. It's hard to stop him. And we literally get Joseph Asai back this upcoming week. They're literally acting like Joe's out for the season. Joe's out for the season. No, he's not. He's not out for the season. And I love it says, well, let me add my Magic 8 Ball to get some free wins. You realize this is the easiest stretch of our year is the next 4 games? I agree, you can never get an easy free win in the NFL, but you can get games that are a lot easier, right? A lot easier. And those games, we have 4 of them. This is a very easy part of our schedule. If there was ever a time after the 2 AFC North games we played where, you look at the schedule and say, wow, this is a very convenient stretch for the Bengals to be able to win at least maybe 2 of the 4 games with a backup quarterback. This would be the time to do it. I gotta give Nate Burleson credit here, but he should get off this show. Because this show is a circus. And the clowns are going crazy. And listen, okay? Shouldn't be surprised. He's a Jets fan. And that's not a shot at Jets fans. But I do feel bad because they have Zach Wilson. And clearly, they wasted a draft pick on Zach Wilson. And it's showing very, very thoroughly and out there every single second for them. And I understand they're upset and they're angry. And, you know, it is what it is. But we don't even know what, you know, Jake Browning is. We don't know how good he is, how good he won't be. We don't know. Maybe he'll go out there and actually play good football. Who knows? You guys got to live with Zach Wilson. You do. And now that your fresh new quarterback is out for the season, you got to live with Zach Wilson. Jets fans, say it with me. Jets, Jets, Jets suck. And that's not me attacking Jets fans. That's me attacking Mr. Circus Clown Carton here. Peace out, guys.